Good morning, students. Welcome to St. Mary's English High School. And today I'm going to teach you geography of standard 8. So, students, our next topic, that is our third lesson, is humidity and clouds. 8th standard Maharashtra Board Geography. So, let us start the lesson. Students, in this video, part 1 of chapter 3, we are going to study the following points, that is evaporation, humidity, saturation of the air, relative humidity, absolute humidity, condensation, densification and sublimation. Now here in this picture you can see, can you tell, look at the pictures shown in figure 3.1, that is from your textbook. Discuss the weather conditions shown in these pictures in the class and write the descriptions in the given boxes. Now students, we will go through each box one by one. Now students, here we can see two persons are there and they are doing a conversation between them. Now what the first person is saying? He is saying, "Buddy, it is very hot today." The second person replies that, "Yes, Soham, I am literally soaked because of the sweat." Now from this picture what we can indicate, this we indicate that it is a which season? It is a summer season. Now in the next picture here we can see conversation between the mother and her children. "Children, come fast, wear your sweaters and then play again. Mummy, please wait. Let us play, please." Now students, in this picture you can see there are two conversations between a male and a female. The male person is saying, "It is very sunny today. The wind has stopped blowing. I foresee sandstorm. Let's go quickly inside the house." And what the lady is saying? The lady is saying, "Yes, even I feel the same. Come, let's go fast." Now by this what we can understand? We can understand that the weather condition here, that is in the first picture we can see that is dry and hot. Means it will be the place like Rajasthan. Okay. Now in the next picture we can see that the conversation between the two persons, they are saying that it is very hot, and what the person is saying, yes, of course he is full of sweat. Now what we can see? We can see that weather condition of this place will be hot and humid. That is the place like where we stay here currently, that is Mumbai. That is it in a coastal city. Now in the next picture we can see that the conversation between the mother and her children, and she was asking to them to wear the sweaters, but they were saying, "Please let us play." Now from this picture what we can see? We can see that the place is of cold place, that is it will be a place like Kashmir Valley or the Himalaya mountain. Now students, we experience the dampness or the dryness in the air throughout the year, right? Because the changes occurring in the weather conditions in desert areas, coastal areas and mountainous areas is evident from this figures. Now students, in this sentence, evident means visible, means we are able to see. It is the proof. Okay. Now students, we will have a look in Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, the weather is dry and hot. That is why in this region there is hardly any moisture present in the air. People in this region wear loose cotton clothes. Because why? Because there is hot and dry air. Now in the next, that is in Kashmir Valley lies the region with cold and dry air. That is moisture is minimal in the air. People cover themselves with warm clothes to keep them safe with the cold. Now students, our third point is, in Mumbai the air is hot and humid. That is why there is a proportion of moisture is very high in the air. In addition, if dark clouds cover the sky, the content of moisture in the air increases. Now students, whatever we have studied up till now, we have seen that the words hot, moist, cool, etc. show the condition of the air, and they relate to the content of the moisture in the air. Moisture in the air is invisible, but it is the major component of air which is taken into consideration that the weather of any place. Students, for precipitation to occur in any place, presence of moisture in the air is very important. Now here in this sentence, precipitation means anything that comes down from the sky in the form of rain, in the form of snow, hailstorm, etc. Now, student, to know about any weather condition, you must first know about moisture. What is the amount of moisture which is there in the air, etc. Major component of the air which is taken into consideration is moisture. Now, students, let's start with the next topic, that is evaporation. Evaporation is the process of converting water into steam or water vapor. Now, because of the sun's heat, the water on the earth gets converted into water vapor. The process of evaporation is dependent on the dryness, temperature, and the speed of the wind. So, students, all these three components are important to carry out the process of evaporation. Now, students, if the air is dry and hot, the rate of evaporation increases. Now, students, always keep in mind that when the air is dry but hot, it means the moisture is less in the air but it is hot. So at that time the rate of evaporation will be high or it increases. Now students, it is the same process of evaporation continues even in dry and cold air. On the other hand, the evaporation occurs very slowly in moist air. Means the evaporation of the air is in slow process when it is moist air. Students, if the velocity and temperature of the air is high, then evaporation occurs rapidly. Now, suppose the velocity of the temperature and the air is high, that means it is very hot, and at times the evaporation take place very rapidly. Then, students, in the next place, if you see the wind is blowing slowly and the air is cooler, the evaporation occurs slowly. Now students, we should always keep in mind that when the rate of evaporation is high, then the temperature is hot and the air is dry. Now students, in the lower class, you all have studied about water cycle, right? Now, in that water cycle, what you have studied? You have studied about the evaporation. Now, how was the evaporation taking place in the water cycle? The basic concept which we have learned in the lower class was when the sun rays falls on the ocean, that is on the water, it gets evaporated into the sky, that is in the cloud. Now students, I hope you have understood that not only heat but the air is also important. Whether the moisture is low or high in the air, that also matters, right? In the rate of evaporation. Now moving forward. Now students, I'm going to ask you some question and you have to use your brain power. Okay. Now, in which season do the clothes dry fast? Yes, think. Yes, you are right. In which season it dry fast? It dry faster in summer season. Now students, my next question is, in which season do the clothes take time to dry? What could be the reason? Come on, let's think. In which season the clothes take time to dry? And what is the reason? Okay, let me tell you the answer. The answer is in rainy season. Why? Because the air has a lot of water vapor on it and it cannot accommodate the water vapor created by the wet clothes, and that is why it takes more time to dry the clothes. Now moving forward to our next point, that is humidity in the air. Now what is humidity, students? The proportion of water vapor in the air is called its humidity. Now, how much amount of water vapor is present in the air? When you measure that, and that is known as a humidity. The dryness and dampness of the air depends on the proportion of water vapor. Now, what kind of evaporation is taking place in that area or in the region that marks as a particular humidity of the particular area or the region? Now students, air can hold moisture in specific quantity at specific temperature only. As air cools down, the moisture holding capacity reduces. Now students, listen carefully what I said. I said when the air cools down, the moisture holding capacity of the air reduces, means it decreases. Now this implies that Warmer air can hold more moisture than cold air. Now students, always remember that if the air is cool, the moisture holding capacity is less. Whereas when the air is warmer, it can hold more of moisture. At a certain temperature, the moisture holding capacity of air becomes equal to the proportion of moisture present in it. Now students, sometimes it happens like when the temperature and the moisture present in the air becomes the same, this condition of the air is called saturation of the air. At this stage, no more moisture can be observed by the air. Understood children, what is saturation of the air? Now students, there is an experiment in your textbook on page number 17. You should do at home. If we were in the school, we would have surely done this in a class. But now at this time you have to do at your home. Students, now let us see the geographical explanation for that experiment. Now let's suppose that the air is like the piece of a sponge. After the sponge is full of water, drops of water start trickling out. Trickling out means flowing out. Then similarly, when the proportion of moisture in the air exceeds its vapor holding capacity, the moisture holding capacity of the air depends on its temperature. Higher temperature is equal to higher holding capacity. Students, we have learnt earlier that as we go higher in the sky, the air becomes cooler, right? So, as per this rule, as we go higher, the vapor holding capacity of the air will decrease. If this amount of vapor is present in the air is said to be saturated. Now, students, let us go to the next point, that is absolute humidity. Now, what is absolute humidity? Now, absolute humidity means the amount of water vapor in 1 cubic meter of air is the absolute humidity of the air. For example, the absolute humidity of the air near coastal areas is higher than air in the interior. Means there is high in the coastal areas and lower in the other areas, interior areas. Absolute humidity is higher in the equatorial areas, while it reduces as we move towards the poles. The distribution of land and water on earth and the seasons also affect absolute humidity. Now students, when we talk about absolute humidity, it is nothing to do with the temperature. Now, whatever may be the temperature, the absolute humidity is measured on the basis of wherever it is placed. Now, for example, if we talk about the coastal areas, the absolute humidity is high, and when we talk about the interior areas, the absolute humidity is lower. Okay. Now, I hope this point is clear. Now, let's go to the next point. Moving forward to our next point, that is relative humidity. Now students, we will see what is relative humidity. The amount of water vapor present in air can be expressed as a percentage of the amount needed for saturation of the same temperature and same volume. It is expressed in percentage. That is, water vapor is equal to percentage of the amount needed for the saturation. Now, relative humidity is equal to absolute humidity upon what vapor holding capacity into 100. Now, given absolute humidity is 20 gram per meter cube, vapor holding capacity is 30 gram per meter cube, and relative humidity will, the formula for relative humidity is absolute humidity upon vapor holding capacity into 100. Now, by using this formula, we will divide the answer, that is 20 upon 30 into 100. So, the relative humidity is 66.66%. That is why relative humidity of air will become 66.66%. Now, if the absolute humidity of the air is 15 gm per meter cube and the vapor holding capacity is 15 gm per meter cube, then what is the relative humidity of the air? Let us see. So, given absolute humidity is 15 gram per meter cube, right? And vapor holding capacity is 15 gram per meter cube. Now relative humidity is equal to absolute humidity upon vapor holding capacity into 100. And now we will use the given absolute humidity and holding capacity, that is 15 upon 15 into 100. That is why the relative humidity will become 100%. That is that air is saturated whose relative humidity is 100%. Students, similarly relative humidity also change. Generally relative humidity is more in the morning and nights, and in the afternoon as temperature increases relative humidity also decreases, and that is why near coastal areas the relative humidity is high and so the air is moist over there, and somewhere in desert areas relative humidity is less. I hope student now this relative humidity is clear. There is again one experiment, you can try this at home. Now let us go to the next point, that is condensation, densification and sublimation. Now the process of changing water vapor in the air into water is called condensation or densification. Also the process of vapor, that is gas, changing into solid state is called sublimation. Understood? If the temperature of the air reduces, the vapor holding capacity also reduces. Students, when relative humidity of the air becomes 100%, vapors start condensing. At this time, the temperature of the air should be at dew point. It implies that for condensation, temperature should be low and relative humidity must be high. And in the free environment, condensation of the vapor in the air occurs around fine particles, that is dust, salt, etc. in the air. Dew, frost and fog are the forms of condensation at ground level, while clouds are a form of condensation at higher elevation. Students, here in this sentence, frost means ice crystals. Now students, I will stop here and will continue in the next lecture. Till then, thank you, stay home and stay safe.